Let's go round up one more time. Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you. Okay, now our next speakers are from BDSBoston. BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Please welcome them.
Hello. Hello. So, my name is Tala, and I'm a Palestinian living here in Boston.
Hey y'all, how are you doing? My name is Leah, and I'm a Palestinian in Boston. We're with BDSBoston and the Palestinian Youth Movement. I mean, like, can I get a free Palestine for all the people out today? Like, woo! Mashallah, I mean, this is amazing. I can't imagine seeing this crowd in 2014 during the siege on Gaza, and I'm so happy to see everyone here today. We're here to talk about what we're building towards, what we're here for, and that's Palestinian liberation. We know what put a fire in our belly, we know what made us take to the streets, but what are we building towards? And that's liberation. But as Salma just said, our movement cannot succeed without the movement for freedom for all oppressed people everywhere in the world. So when we say free Palestine, we also mean freedom for all people. So Palestinian liberation will not be achieved until black people are free from constant dehumanization of racist police and racist systems of incarceration too. We cannot achieve Palestinian liberation until indigenous people see liberation on their ancestral homes, which we are occupying right now. Palestinian liberation will not be achieved until queer and trans people are free from systems of patriarchy. What we're asking for is collective liberation. And collective liberation means we take each other's hands. We don't take each other's slogans. Collective liberation means that I want to see all of you out here again in 2 days or 2 months or 2 years when people are out here fighting for black liberation, for indigenous liberation, for queer liberation, for everything. But today we're talking about Palestinian liberation. And I want to make sure we're all on the same page about that. Because Palestinian liberation is not just any negotiation or peace talk, no. As our great poet, Ghassan Kanafani, once said, you cannot have a peace talk between a sword and a neck. Liberation is taking the sword from our neck. Liberation, for me, as a Palestinian American, means that my former classmates at Birzeit University will not be rotting in Israeli prisons for participating in student activism. It means that Palestinians can travel from Haifa to Gaza to Nablus to Jericho without any checkpoints. Liberation, for me, it means that my grandmother, my father, my sister, and I can return to our ancestral home in Jaffa, Palestine. And Palestinians on the ground right now are doing this in practice. They're fighting for decolonization and they're fighting for liberation. And us here in the US, in the belly of the beast, we need to do everything we can to fight for that liberation too. Because all of our tax dollars are funding those bombs being dropped in Gaza right now. Our tax dollars funded the murder of Rama Saad and her family when they died at the hands of Israelis earlier this week in Gaza. Our tax dollars are funding every arrest of a child in Birzeit, every single dehumanization happening at the hands of the Israeli military, and we need to do everything we can to end lend that support and to struggle for liberation. So I'm going to pass it over to Tala, who's going to talk exactly about how we can make that happen. But first, can I get one more Free Palestine?
Free Palestine!
Ahlan! So as Leah said, we're both Palestinians. We grew up in the diaspora. We've never seen a free Palestine that our ancestors have talked about. And that's what we're fighting for. That's what we're here for today. We're here for them and we're here for us. So I want to thank you all for coming out today, right? This was a really good critical step. But I'm here to tell you what you should be doing after today. So for the past 16 years, just think about that, 16 years, Palestinians have asked us to fight for their liberation by participating in BDS. So that stands for boycott, divestment, and sanction.
Yo, Joe.